right, Wednesday night. The gang's all here. Well, minus one.
Last time.
Anthony's got games. Last week in Reading. Hey, real quick, I don't think any of us on this page here are political views, nor do we talk politics, but we need to send prayers out to Charlie Kirk. And the world is suffering. You know, this kind of thing just shouldn't happen. It's just not necessary. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what color you vote for. I don't care who you are. This stuff has to stop. And it's a damn shame that the country has to suffer like this. And it affects all of us. It affects all of us every day. And I don't enjoy talking about it, but I feel a need to, send prayers out to his family, his friends, and to all the people in America, because we're the ones that are suffering from this. Because, you just don't know what's going to happen next. And it's just a sad day, afternoon. I'm not even quite sure when it happened. I guess somewhere out in the state of Utah, he was having on campus, having a rally. But this stuff doesn't. You got to have an opinion, and you got to be able to voice your opinion and not get killed over it. So I don't know what you guys feel, if you even want to, voice on it, but it's just a sad day in this country.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So, with all that being said, we're this Fans View, and we like to have fun. We like to talk sports. We like to have fun. That's what we do. So, with all that being said, Johnny, I hope you're caught up to date.
John, you always have to take over right when he's sort of done his live news segment. The school shooting a couple weeks ago, he kicks it to you. This guy gets shot today, then he kicks it to you.
I did not. This was not in my wheelhouse. I didn't plan on this. This was not something that I had premeditated. And throwing it to you, Johnny, I know there's only one guy who can handle it. So
that's right. At least it wasn't right before John's rant, because then it would.
That would have been a really interesting transition.
Yeah, that would have been. So at least we'll go with fantasy, and we're in the fantasy baseball world here now, and we're coming down to the end here. It's Maureen Zadell has said, "Boys, hold my beer. I'm taking over first place now." She moved up from second or third place last week. Now she's in first.
Wow.
Yeah, she's pulling a little bit of a distance here now, and she let you guys have time for the girls to step up and take over. So, Carl, you're still holding down the 5 spot. So the top 3 are changing a little bit here and there. They're a tight race right there, and every game here now changes a little bit. So,
okay.
So yeah, it's getting down. We're only got 3 weeks left. I mean, it's crazy that the baseball season's almost over. And then we started back. We got a whole new board here. We got the football one started with week 1. We got Arthur Kwai is right there at the lead. He had a big week there with 260 points. Just snuck past me there. He got me. And Adele, our champion from last year, he was holding on tight up there as well. We got we got a few new guys up there on the board. I'm trying to see if you were up there, Carl. Nope, you weren't.
Are you having mic issues? Because you drop in and out. Are anybody else picking that up?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So.
Yeah. So.
All right, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's all right.
We got the gist of it.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a bunch of new guys up on that leaderboard for the football. So it's good to see.
So help me out because I'm a little slow to the park sometimes. I saw a spreadsheet go out yesterday. I want to say
Yes.
for it. That's new, right? Please tell me that's new, and I've never seen that before.
Yes, it's new. You've never seen it before, but that's been up there since last year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just saw it for the very first time.
Maybe you clicked on it for the very first time.
Well, that could be too.
Oh yeah, That spreadsheet goes out. We had it all last year. I finally figured out
all last year
for all 4 sports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, now I know you're messing with me.
Okay, but no, it was. I had it there. We figured it out for last week. I figured it out, or last year figured it out, and so yeah, we're there, and I'm working on it. I gotta sit down with someone to figure out how to. I looked up on the Google and tried to figure out how to hook the websites up for the fantasy footballs to our spreadsheet. So hopefully I can get that done. If I'm smart enough, I'll figure it out. I'm not the brightest bulb, but I'll figure it out somehow. Then I don't have to do any recording. It does it automatically.
Well, all right. So,
but yeah, I'll try to.
You still need a human to click buttons.
Well, yeah, that's why I always look at it too. So, but yeah, no, it's going well. We had the spreadsheets out there, so hopefully it makes it easier for everybody to look at it and they can see where they're at. There's three different pages, one with all the lineups in there, and the one with the leaderboard, and the viewers versus the host.
Joe Stinger sending out a message to look out for him this year.
I know that was one of the big ones right there. I think he's in the 4 spot, or was Joe Stinger? No, he's in the 6 spot. It looks like there.
7, but who's counting?
7, 8, 9, yep, 7. Yeah, exactly. I guess you were. But look who's at 10 there. Our buddy there, the cop that comes in. His son was up there playing. So yeah,
RJ.
Yep, RJ. So
cool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Good.
We had 96 lineups out there, so it was a good year. And we had like 15 new players come in, and a couple fell off the table, but it was good.
All for the Carter autographed jersey.
That's
nice.
Right. Yep. So yeah, it's good, and we already have our first big injury with George Kittle going down. So that was kind of everybody got that,
and you got possibly Dallas Goedert not playing on Sunday.
Yeah, but that doesn't count for this week.
Oh no.
Well, because he's still questionable. So until
gotcha.
He's the only one, George Kittle, right at the moment that's official.
I'm still learning the rules.
Yeah, well, it's just because Dallas Goedert, like you said, might be out, but he also might play. So until Sunday, if they announce it before, then we'll be able to do it. But if it happens on Sunday, then whoever has Dallas Goedert gets the 0 for the week and then gets the change.
Okay.
Change out. That's all.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're all up to speed on your fantasy baseball and football?
Oh yeah. Yep. We're doing well. It's running smooth.
All right.
Yep. Get ready for that. Get ready for soccer and basketball and hockey.
Soccer? Oh my.
We're not doing soccer.
This whole show is going to be a fantasy update soon.
We'll need a show for the fantasy update.
We will.
He'll be giving out his top picks and his bad picks and his best picks and
yeah, all those deep sleepers as they like to talk to.
You seriously got some volume issues going on there, Johnny. I don't know.
All right, I'll try to talk louder.
Well, I think it's a mic issue with the laptop. So I
Yeah. Let me check with the microphone here. Yeah, it's showing good right at the moment, but I'll try to, see what happens. But so yeah, we got So let's get into a little bit of real reality. How about that Eagles game?
Let's talk about it.
That was impressive win. They played well.
What I'm gonna give my 2 cents. They could have played better, right?
Well, right. Well, yeah. I mean, considering week one, it was
they left some plays on the field.
They did. As Zach won when he was in here in the store the other day, he stopped in, to get some Pokemon cards. We were talking about it. He said it was kind of like the Packers game last year, in Brazil, that it was just, getting your feet wet and, it was a little bit, touch and go here and there. But Jahad Campbell with his forced fumble was, turned the game around when the Cowboys were driving there. And it was fitting to see Miles Sanders, have the fumble. Not only here in Philadelphia that he has the fumble.
I wasn't spitting out those words when he ran for 50 on the first run.
Well, that's true, but I mean, he has those moments, and then he did his dance, and then the football gods got back to him and said, "Okay, now you're back. You're going to fumble."
So, with all that being said, it took till I don't know how much time in the fourth quarter for AJ to get his first touch. What do you?
13 minutes.
What was that?
Like 13 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, kind of like a minute left in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. Hopefully it was nothing. Like we were talking. Hopefully it might not be a still lingering from the hamstring a little bit. That he was just more of a decoy out there.
Well, I thought about this, and I've watched, like a lot of the Philly shows and different things and the highlights and whatnot. Do you think maybe he wasn't just giving it 100% because maybe the injury was still an issue and they just threw him out there to be a decoy? Yeah,
I mean that could be. I don't think he wasn't giving 100%, but it was just. I mean, it was his 100% that he could give you. That day.
When I say 100%, I didn't mean that in a negative way.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Yeah,
he was allowing himself to be out there to run the routes and disrupt whatever he could, offensively, defensively. I mean, I don't know. Did anybody other than
Goddard and Schmidt?
No, the kid from Penn State,
Dotson. You know what I mean? He had the big play. I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot of yardage out there.
No, there wasn't. You're right. I mean, that was the only big play of the game. Was John Dotson was throwing and that was a great throw.
It was.
That one was on time and in the right spot. So you got to give Jalen his credit there. Making a great throw there.
Johnny, when you move your hands, are you covering up your mic?
I'm not.
Okay. Because that part was the longest that you've cut out this time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what's causing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that he's. It was just a weird game plan though, a little bit, because there wasn't a whole lot of passing. I mean, Devontae Smith had 4 or 5 passes thrown to him. Goddard had the most, actually. It was a little bit interesting to see. He got a lot thrown to him, and so yeah, it was interesting.
It's a win, right? It's
exactly.
Win 1 in the books.
Yeah.
Now you go. I know nobody wants to talk about it, but everybody's talking about it. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl.
True.
You can dice it any way you want. I know Nick doesn't want to talk about it being a rematch, but I mean, the whole world's talking about it. Travis Kelce may not play. He's banged up as well. I don't know how serious that injury is, or they're just throwing that out there as a decoy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't trust a lot of those things, it's a lot of when they're not practicing during the week, it's like they got to say that they're hurt because otherwise, it's just a football rules. You just got to you got to put it out there.
Yep.
So you always hear all those little questionable things. I don't think that he will miss the game.
Who's the other player that got banged up in that KC game?
Well, Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver that collided with him, he I would think he would be out. They still haven't mentioned that he's going to be out, but with a separated shoulder for the first week, you would think he would probably be out for 1 week, and he's going to try to play with the brace on. So we'll see, what happens, but I would think he might be out a little bit. But that was a strange thing. 3 plays into the game, the 2 of them are colliding, on a play. Just goes to show, the preseason matters. But these teams don't want to risk the guys getting hurt.
Do we want to talk about the Jalen Carter situation? The spit heard around the world.
I don't know how you don't.
Yeah.
How do you not talk about it?
Well, my two cents is that the commish, probably said if you suspend one, you got to suspend the other, right? You can't, you can't just throw it all on one guy. So they probably figured, we'll take the high road and count that one game that he only played 6 seconds in, and we'll count that as the suspension game.
And he was fine too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$57,222 game check.
No, that was just a fine, I believe, and then he has to do the game check as well.
Oh, I thought that was the game check.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
No, that was the fine, and then he also.
Well, how do they arrive at that number?
That was my question that I was going to ask you. How do they come up with $57,222? Like,
that's like putting a password together. You got to use a 5. You got to use a 7.
You got to double up on some letter or numbers.
Yeah.
I don't understand it because that was the fine from earlier in the week, and then it just came out yesterday that he wasn't going to get suspended. Well, he technically was suspended, because it was the game that he lost. They tried to throw it out there that was his 1 game suspension. And so he had to give up his paycheck for that game as well. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know. What do you think, Lauren, as far as that? Because
I definitely think so. I know Dak was like, I spit 1,000 times during a game. I'm, constantly, and I'm sure that happens. That's part of the game. I get it. The thing for me though that made it seem different is that smirk. That Dak does after he spits. That kind of makes you wonder, was he actually just, I don't know, pre-game spit? I have no idea. But it seemed like it was intentional. It seemed like it was meant to catch somebody's attention. Now, that's Jalen being young and immature. And instead of just walking away from it or ignoring it, he responded, and now he makes contact with Dak. So I do feel that, him kind of getting the upper hand on who gets in trouble makes sense. But I definitely think he was lured to do something, and unfortunately he bit.
Yeah. And the guy who got caught was the guy who got seen, spitting, obviously.
Right. I mean, I don't think anyone's debating whether or not Dak spit. He did, but he didn't spit on someone. That's the difference. That's the difference maker there. We talk a lot about Jalen Hurts being so sort of stone cold, kind of just one emotion. But that comes from a mature leadership standpoint. So I think Jalen Carter could learn a lot from that. Yeah. In taking a more mature approach to things and not letting that bother him and just turn around. Don't worry about it. Let your play on the field dictate what happens with the game. I think that set the whole night off on the wrong foot.
Oh, yeah.
It took the wind out of everybody's sails. Everyone was fired up for the game, the unveiling of the banner, the Cowboys coming off the Super Bowl. Everyone was so excited. And then, he gets ejected from the game almost immediately. And then the rest of the night just kind of spirals into this weird football game where, yeah, they were playing and they were making plays and they looked okay, but you never really had that oomph or that magic you were looking for. They barely won. And then there was a weird lightning delay. The whole game was just, it had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't even stay up for it. After the lightning delay, I was like, I'll just see what happens when I wake up in the morning. And luckily, I turned my phone on and, they won, which, that's great. It just felt off. It felt weird. It didn't feel right.
Well, like Joe said, they messed him up front.
Yeah.
Because he normally gets a double team.
Oh, yeah.
So, you didn't have that ultimate push up front. I don't know who replaced him, John. I don't even remember.
Well, you had Jordan Davis play a lot more snaps. He took the majority of the snaps.
Right.
And then everybody else trickled down from
Well, let's hope he learned from it again.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that locker room when Vic Fangio got a hold of him, though. Because I imagine he got an earful.
Yeah, no, he didn't really say much, supposedly. At least that's what came out, that he didn't really say much.
Right, and I mean, Nick also told you that he's not discussing, these types of matters. These are kept internally. But going back to the A.J. Brown thing, I mean, yeah, I definitely think maybe part of it has to do with an injury. But as we kind of saw last year, the Eagles seem to really like giving it to Saquon. They like the way that looks. They like the cool plays he makes. They like all the stuff that he's able to do with the ball. And I think that really affects how much AJ and even Devontae get to touch the ball. My hope is that AJ is a guy who wants to play. He's not a guy who's out there to be a decoy. He's not a guy who's looking to take coverage off of somebody else. And now that he's won a Super Bowl here, why not go be a big fish in a little pond somewhere else and not just one of the many talents on the Eagles team? So I do worry about that because I do think that he's driven by playing, not by being out there to be a decoy for Saquon.
Does anybody know the new book? Like, what's the new book he's reading? Has he flashed the title yet? Because that was very emotional last year.
It was.
So I don't know. I don't know what that new title is.
Throw me the damn ball.
Yeah.
We need
hats that say "throw the damn ball" now.
Well, that was the thing. Not only was it just Saquon Barkley running the ball. I mean, Jalen Hurts ran the ball. I think it was 15 times. I mean, and some of it he had to. Some of it, was designed. Sure. I don't know. What do you? I mean, this early in the season, what do you guys think as far as him running it that much?
Well, it was nice to see him moving again because we missed that last year. So that was nice. That was nice to see him have that confidence and that ability to do it again. But I mean, John, you talk about it all the time that he has trouble, necessarily seeing the whole field. I don't know, getting his feet wet again. I don't understand that though. Shaking the rust off, getting their feet wet again. These are football players paid millions of dollars to play this game. There should be no rust. There should be no, we got to get our feet wet again. No, you just came off the Super Bowl. You played the longest season of anyone.
Yeah.
You should be ready to go. I don't want to hear that you had to shake the rust off. That's what the preseason's for. But they don't put those guys in because they're afraid they're going to get hurt.
Exactly.
So instead, the guy gets hurt on the first play of the game and is out for the season. But just like last year, we got to get back into the routine. What?
Yeah.
It's just one of those many excuses that I really don't get, but people just say. So at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think they get better over time, but that first game didn't do anything for me. All the hype going into it I didn't leave there feeling motivated or passionate for the next game.
Well, being the total ultimate Eagles fan, we had expectations of blowing the Cowboys out.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
they're coming off of losing Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? You know, that affected the whole week, because all you heard was, you know, he could have been an Eagle. He could have been an Eagle. You know, we offered this, we offered that. There was no way Jerry Jones was trading, Micah Parsons to the Philadelphia Eagles. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you had that mystique going right into the game, and then the whole thing. And Dak knew exactly what he was doing. He got in, Carter's face, because he knows he's a young buck, and he knew he could send a message by standing toe to toe with him in front of the referee. You know what I mean? And, just the whole start of everything. Like Lauren said, the kid on special teams for the kickoff, he got banged up first play of the game. He's done for the season. You just had all that, I think, bottled up. They were ready to go. They were ready to make a statement because they're Super Bowl champs. Well, like everybody's been saying, we put that behind us. It's a new season. We're ready to rock and roll. The thing that's a little bit, kind of misleading is, and I give kudos to Jalen Hurts, because he was looking all over the field. He looked at, for all of his, potential suitors for the ball. And when he saw the opportunity to run, and there were some good ones, he took off. He took off, and like Lauren said, he seems to be back. He's got his legs under him, and he didn't show any signs of rust. He just seemed like he was ready to play ball. I don't know about everybody else. You know what I mean? It's hard to say, these guys are running, routes after routes after routes, and they turn around and, there's no football. So, but then again, you got this dynamic offense with all these great players, and there's only one football.
Well, that's true. I mean, and you also had an offensive coordinator in Petrullo that was, starting first time ever calling plays. So that was kind of a little bit different as well. And and like we were talking, Monday, or what was it, Friday when we came back, because it was a Thursday game that we played. It was that lightning storm. I mean, that with that hour delay in that game, really, does a lot to a guy's body that once you start warming up.
Did you hear Lane Johnson? He never sat down during the whole time period of being in the locker room. He just stood and walked and paced. He never sat down.
Yeah, you can't. You just came off of the halftime break that you had, and that you were expecting to finish out the game, and you have an hour break there. That body tightens up on you. It was probably what contributed to Landon Dickerson a little bit with his back getting hurting him a little bit more as well. And I mean, I threw things off a little bit. It seemed like the offenses from both sides were a little bit off after that. The defenses kind of got a little bit of better control of the game.
I hate to interrupt, but we got a news break. The Phillies have the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning.
There you go.
Yeah, bases are loaded. Sure they are. No?
Yeah, I have the bases loaded here, it looks like.
Yeah, she's got the bases loaded. She just
How's the new TV working out?
Apparently she's missing something. I'm not sure what.
The new TV doesn't have the bases loaded.
No.
I saw
it. Your TV.
I didn't know Harper got hit and put the first, so don't be hitting my boy.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good game overall for a game one. Like you said,
you know what? Right out of the gate, the NFL knew what they were doing. They matched up, the two best teams in the NFC East, right? Or at least one anyway.
Yeah,
You know?
they got the one because I think Washington will be better than the Cowboys, overall. But,
They scuffled. They scuffled a little bit too.
yeah, I mean, again, it was another divisional game with the Giants.
Yep.
All those games are always that way. And
Week 1.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow night. I don't know if you saw that yet or looking forward to that one with the Packers and the Washington Commanders. I mean, that's a tough one. Again, right? On a short week coming out off of week 2.
Yep.
Week 2.
Yep. All those short weeks are always problems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm like tossed between who you rooting for in that one exactly.
Where is that game?
It's out in Green Bay.
It's in you got to go Green Bay.
There you go, JT.
Well, see, but that's my thing. Like, I think Green Bay's probably going to be one of the top teams that you're going to be rooting or going against for that number 1 seed. So I don't know, like,
Right.
Do we want to have Washington win to give them the Packers a conference loss?
All right. Well, stop right there. Would you rather Washington be 2-0 or 1-1?
In this case, I want them to be 2-0. Because we got 2 shots at them to go 2-0.
I understand.
I
understand, but anytime you could pin a loss on what you're calling, your next biggest, foe in the division,
but I still think the Eagles have the division more. I'm looking bigger picture for the home field advantage for the
well, Green Bay's a 3.5-point favorite at home, if that means anything to anybody. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The Eagles are a 1.5 favorite in Kansas City.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's saying something there as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yep.
And that was my toss up. Going back and forth, like which way better way to come out. At the end of the day, one of the 2 teams are going to have a loss there. So it's
of course.
It's good, but which one makes it a little bit better for us? I think maybe having Washington win, I think might be the better. I don't think Washington's going to be as strong this year.
Okay.
For the full season. The Packers look good. Against the Lions. Week 1.
That was a big win. That was a big win. Detroit didn't get bad like overnight.
Right.
So
they lost a lot of the coordinators, but they had still a good team, and different things happening.
All right.
So
Joe Stinger, what do you think of them picking up Tank? I don't know much about the kid. Running back out of from where did he go to school? Like Auburn?
I think it was Auburn. Yeah.
Howie loves staying in that division, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a decent pickup. I think it might be more of a pickup, even though Shipley's hurt.
Yeah, but you gave up a 5th and a 6th for him.
Yeah, no, but I think he might be taking actually.
Covey.
No, he's going to do some of the return stuff on the kickoffs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But who was
the kid Ben as a fullback?
Well, that too, but I think Dylan might be one of the guys on the short string.
Wow, and he looked good Sunday.
And a couple of plays, but you got younger with this move.
Okay, all right.
You got younger with it, and maybe they make AJ Dillon maybe the fullback instead.
Okay.
To make him the fullback for this year.
Hank is he was a former 3rd-round pick. Just a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, a year or 2 ago. Yeah.
But why would the Jags be giving up on him?
Well, they have a lot of running backs in their thing, and Travis Etienne's their main starter.
Okay.
Supposedly, this has been going in the works for a while now. They said because he was supposed to be part of the trade with Fred Johnson when we got Fred Johnson back from the Jaguars, and and then the Jaguars wanted to hold on to him for a little bit just to see how their running back room went because they had a bunch of guys in their running back room. They figured what they have in Travis Etienne and Mountain back. I think they have one other guy that's pretty decent back as well. That might be able to help us out with their running backs. But it was It was a decent move, I think. I think it covers a lot of different things, and maybe that, AJ Dillon and Saquon Barkley with in the backfield together might be interesting.
Okay, all right. Well, Howie's on top of all this stuff. He loves making. Did he make any moves today? I didn't see anything, but he just seems to love to make moves.
Yeah, I didn't see any either. He might have taken a nap today or something, maybe. Getting ready for the weekend.
All right. Well, it's now 2-0 Phillies. The bases are still loaded with one out.
There you go.
So,
gotta love that. Splash out the Mets.
Yeah, that'd be dynamite. All right. Where are we going from here? From football to baseball, since we've already taken 2 from the Mets. Kyle Schwarber hit home run number 50 last night. They were playing on the news today, all the 9s, being September 9th. It was Otto Kemp's birthday, and he hit a home run on his birthday, and it's amazing all the.
What does the 9 have to do with it?
Well, there's nine's. What's the magic number is 9.
The magic number is 9. He was born on 9/9/1999.
Wow.
Yeah, just a lot of 9s floating around last night. But the big one was Schwarber with his 50th home run. Just an incredible individual. And I know we talk about this a lot. But they have to re-sign him, right? There's no getting around this. There's no letting him pull out of the parking lot, when the season's officially over and there's not a deal in place, right?
What do you think, Lauren?
Is there any reason to not do it now? Like, what is the holdup between getting it done now and giving the fans everything they want versus waiting till the end of the year?
I think it's just a bargain for his agent.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that it's the bargaining, and it's, we want to get the best deal and, whatever. But I mean, for the most part, you're filling Citizens Bank Park every night.
Oh, yeah.
And he's giving those people a show most nights.
Oh.
Why not sign him now? Give the fans you heard us. We asked you to re-sign him and you did it, instead of waiting until it's over, the season's over. And then you kind of have everybody sitting on pins and needles. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Are they going to re-sign him? God forbid they let him walk.
John Littleton might have to balance his checkbook.
So I don't know. For me, it's just sign the guy now. Just do it now. Pay the man what he needs to be paid so he stays here. Give the fans what they want. I mean, frankly, we as fans have been nothing but patient and loyal this entire time. You've made it to the postseason and have not given us much to root for. So why not? Why not do it now? Why do we have to play this game? It's like when you first start dating someone and you're not sure, should we text them back? Maybe I'll wait a little bit. I'll keep them on the hook for a little longer so they don't know. I don't want to show my hand. I'm not sure. Just sign the guy. Just sign the guy and be done with it.
So you're comparing a date to Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
It's an interesting move.
It's very much like, I don't want to seem too eager. So that's John Middleton and Dave Dombrowski. I don't want to seem too eager. So I'm going to wait. And even though he texted me, I'm going to wait an extra day so he doesn't seem like I'm just sitting on my phone waiting for him to text me back. When instead, just tell the guy you like him and sign him.
Well,
why do we always have to do this? Who's the last player the Phillies signed mid-season that deserved it?
It's a great question.
But I'll throw it back at you. You just got to be patient.
Well, that's the funny part about all this is I am patient. I don't sign them, don't sign, whatever. I have no control over it anyway. I'm just saying so many people want you to do that right now.
Yeah. Well,
So why not just do it? Okay. if you do it now versus waiting till the end of the season, what might you be saving? What money might you not spend? What is it, $5 million difference?
Well, yeah, supposedly the Phillies offered him something earlier, in spring training, and it wasn't close.
And this was before he hit 50 bombs.
Before he hit 50
Yeah,
bombs.
I mean, imagine what it's going to be now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what are they hoping that he goes on sale in the off season?
Well,
What is this, 2025 spring training T-shirts? He's hoping, to get them 35% off or something. Like, what do they think is going to happen in the offseason that wouldn't happen right now?
well, I guess the only thing that they're thinking is, people keep throwing numbers out there like 35 million. He's going to get $40 million. He's going to get, and he's only getting paid 20, 25. Right? He's like 25 million at the moment. The last time he was out 4 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of interest in him.
Okay.
Type of thing. So, not that the Phillies want to be cheap. Obviously, well, it does seem like
It seems like they do.
Well, maybe they do, but I guess they don't want to bid against themselves. Let's put it that way versus being cheap, I guess.
Well, that's a good way to look at it, but you got to stop and look at the progression of the year. They made him who he is by making him a designated hitter, taking him off the field, and putting him in his position to hit those 50 home runs. You know what I mean? Like, he was a position player previously before coming to the Phillies. And he started out as a position player here. You know what I mean? But he was quickly put into the DH role, which, I mean, you got to give the Phillies credit for that. I think that the only thing that, in what Lauren's saying, why not do it now? Because I think you're going to, if this team doesn't win it all, I think you're going to see a train wreck, and you're going to see a whole new team next year.
And that's I think that's part of the problem too. Like, he doesn't want to, he may not want to sign right this second either, because then if he signs right now, and like Carlos just said, if they don't win the World Series and then Middleton decides to go in a different direction, letting Castellanos go, letting JT go, letting Ranger go, letting maybe a Bowman stop be traded because they got to go in a different direction and goes different ways. Now Schwarber's like, well, wait a minute, you just left everybody. Obviously Trey Turner and Bryce Harper are here, but you're letting a lot of these guys go, and we don't know what's going to happen with Zach Wheeler. Personally, with his health issues as well. So you don't know, if he's going to be able to come back at all next year. And that's not even, a Phillies.
A lot of question marks.
So maybe, his last contract, maybe he does want to go somewhere else and do something.
So then I guess my point is, if we're going to wait till the off season, then just say that.
Well, basically that's what they're saying. I mean,
we're not doing anything till the off season, so cool your jets. Right. But instead, they sort of just like, oh, well, we're going to make an offer. We try, nobody really tells you. So you're kind of left to guess and hope that one day you get like a notification on your phone that they've signed them. Why don't they just come out and say, guys, once the season's over, we'll deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about it is that the first 2 weeks after the season is over, whether it's the Phillies season over or the actual baseball season, when the World Series is over, they got that 2-week grace period that they could sign their own players before he actually hits free agency. So,
sure.
Hopefully that'll be where things get kicked off a lot, and by that time, I'm sure his agent's going to know from other teams how much they're actually willing to pay and that kind of stuff. And
so let's amp up the conversation. Let's hypothetically say that Schwarber gets signed between now and the end of the season, between now and the end of the World Series.
Right.
At some point, he gets signed, to this mega deal, 40, 45, $50 million, whatever. What is Bryce Harper thinking at this point?
Well, here's the other.
What is going through his, brain, where he's already said, that he wants to renegotiate. So now what?
Yeah. Well, that's the other issue too, because when you're talking that kind of money, 25, you're still keeping it around the same price where Bryce Harper is getting. So it still looks like Bryce Harper is the highest paid and on the team and stuff, and even though it's not the 325 million, it's 100 million at this time for Schwarber right now, and we might be talking another 150,000 or $1 million, so to get him re-signed. So it's I think right at the moment the Phillies are battling against themselves or bidding against themselves, trying to figure out what actual other teams are going to do out there, and I think both sides want to get it done, and hopefully, Schwarber goes out and tests the water and says, okay, yeah, this was my highest offer I got, and I don't think there's enough bad will between like if it was Michael Parsons type of thing, the Eagles offer me this much money, type of thing, he might just go and not even come back to Dallas type of thing. So, hopefully, Schwarber says, okay, hey, the Boston Red Sox offer me, $35 million a year. Are you able to match that, type of thing or whatever for me to stay here?
Who is the other? Help me out here, John. Who's the other player that's a free agent, big free agent this offseason?
For the Phils?
No, in baseball.
Yeah,
Is it Mike Trout?
No.
No. It's another power hitter.
Yeah. Because they were comparing the two of them to see, I guess, who was going to get the bigger deal.
Right. Yeah.
I forget who it was. I apologize.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But that's that's part of the thing. Schwarber's a little bit older too, so maybe people more go after the other guy that we're talking about here.
But like you just said 10 minutes ago, nobody was interested in Kyle Schwarber at what, 4 years ago, however long it's been.
4 years ago, yeah.
4 years ago, there was no market for Kyle Schwarber, and he's kind of rejuvenated his career. He's gotten younger, he's gotten faster. I mean, and he's just not hitting home runs. He's hitting for average. Right. You know what I mean? He's driving in runs. And he's just look at the merchandising. Can you imagine this town if he's in the MVP, ballot, for,
right. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just going to be unbelievable.
Oh, and that's the other thing too. Like, it's going to cost the Phillies in the long run. Because, like you said, if he doesn't win the MVP this year, how many MVPs can he trade, for next year?
I don't, Lauren, help me out here. I don't think that's a volume issue with John. It seems to go in and out.
Yeah, I think it's just the mic.
You know what I mean? It just seems to go in and out, Johnny. We need to look at that.
Yeah, maybe the microphone's got an update needs to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to update you from your opening segment here on the show, that Charlie Kirk person did pass away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that going into it. I thought he was still injured. I didn't realize he had already passed away.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's official now. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if it's a good segue, bad segue. John, do you have a rant tonight, or you've mellowed out in all this time?
Oh no, I got my rant. I got a rant, that's for sure. All right, the Penn State Nittany Lions football team.
Uh-oh.
I know, Lauren. It's going to hurt a little bit. It hurts me too to have to make this rant, but you can't play a schedule that the Penn State football team's playing and expect.
We don't make their schedule.
They do so. They paid who came in the first week. They paid them $4 million to come in and play them.
Nevada.
They got
Nevada.
Nevada. Yeah, they paid Nevada $4 million to come and play. That's why Nevada came and played.
Yes, doesn't that schedule have to get approved by somebody? Penn State doesn't just say, here, let's take all the schlub teams, and that's who we'd like to play, please. Someone's got to approve that.
Well, I mean, they're playing their schedule that they have, for the Big Ten, of course, but
Right.
those there's like maybe 4 games that are scheduled that you can basically pick whatever you want. I mean, Oklahoma's playing Temple. I mean, it's all football. It's just not Penn State, but Penn State want to be a team that's going to, be the national champion. You can't be playing Villanova. Come on, Villanova's this week. You just played FIU and Nevada and the little sisters of the poor are coming
But
up.
this is happening throughout all of college football, John.
I know, and I said that. I mean, it is with every, but we care about Penn State. We want, they got two ranked teams that are any good. You got Ohio State and you got Oregon that are in the top 10 that you're playing.
Well,
and then you got Indiana who started the season at 20, but who knows if they're going to stay there? They could be. Let me
interrupt your rant because with all those schlub teams, you better go out to Ohio State and come home with that W.
Well, that's my point, because if you lose to Ohio State and then it's a close game against Oregon, there's no chance for you to move up. I mean, they were just lucky that they were ranked high to start the season, but you lose a game in between, you're dropping right out. It's you got to start playing some teams. I mean, good God, just make your team look reliable instead of oh yeah, we got a 10 win season every year and we played nobody. But that's all the coach is looking for. It's I don't know. It's like you said, it's all teams. Like I just said, Oklahoma's playing Temple this week. I mean, come on, it's just the teams are getting paychecks to play. The teams, colleges coming in, and it's just bad. And you look at Ohio State, and they're not even looking good doing it. I mean, they're not even covering the spread when they do it. I mean, Ohio State played a shit team, last week as well, but they scored on their first 5 plays. They scored 3 touchdowns. On their first 5, offensive plays, and took advantage of the game. Penn State's struggling. I mean, it was 17-0 into the middle of the third quarter, and then ended up being 34. I think it was 34-0 or whatever it was to finish the game. I mean, come on, you got. I mean, they were playing so horrible last week, and it's hard for the players to get up for it when you're a 43-point favorite going into the game. Something's got to happen.
All right,
play better teams.
All right,
and that's for all football as well. I mean, no, it's just
Harrison Bader 2 for 2.
He's on fire.
Yeah, he is.
He's on fire.
Stick brings up a great point about, not too many years on that Schwarber contract. We saw what happened to Ryan Howard.
Well, I mean, that's what you guys, when you were talking about, signing him and paying him, he's not 24 years old.
Right.
He's the same age as Harper, outperforming Harper, frankly. And yeah, I mean, he's got to strike while the iron's hot because he's already 32 years old. By the time he hits 35, that's old for baseball.
Yeah. And to John's credit, the Phillies don't want to bid against themselves because you may not have anybody else out there that wants to pay them that kind of money, So we'll see.
Or throwing out the number of years. I mean,
the idea that's insane.
Obviously, his agent's going to want 7 years, to get him, the magic numbers to 40. All these teams, all these players want to play until they're 40, supposedly, and so I mean, yeah, he's going to want 7 years to get those numbers up, as high as they can to look good on a when he signs the contract. But
sure.
I mean, if the Phillies want to go maybe 4 years or, maybe 3 years at $50 million, you still get, type of thing. And, you're throwing a lot of money, but, you're getting them on a shorter contract.
2 walks for Schwarber. They don't want to pitch to him.
No.
We got a Nova fan on the board. Or I should say we've got an anti Penn State fan on the board.
I don't think I knew that Tom was an anti-Penn State fan.
Oh yeah, Tom doesn't like him either.
I don't think he does.
I think his team of choice. Okay, but I don't think he likes the fact that the Penn State's playing that week schedule as well. And And,
All right.
and how about that? Just before we get into Lawrence thing, but before we forget, how about that missile that Schwarber hit for his 50th home run? I didn't think it was going to be high enough, when he hit it. I mean, it was hard enough, but wasn't there a cameraman that went right over his head? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
imagine that cameraman having to stay there holding the camera with that thing coming right over his head.
I got it, boys.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought with that high wall there, I thought it might have hit the high part of the wall, but it sailed over top of that. But.
All right. We're winding down. So this is always an interesting segment. It's a good time of the night. Lauren, you've been pretty vocal tonight. So let's continue with what your thoughts are.
This is a pretty straightforward question for you guys. Would you have given the ball back?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would have got up out of my seat to go chase the ball to begin with. You know what I mean? So, but
also, how has the internet not found that woman yet? Like, how do we not know who she is?
Well, I know there's a sports card business. I don't know if it's a trading card company, a sports card business has offered big money for the ball.
Right.
But she has to sign it. I'm sorry. So
I guess from that comments, they don't know that those things that you got fired.
Yes, that's all. That was all really bad speculation and bad rumors. She said she's not the person. I guess they have a similar name, but I don't even know that I know what her name is. So no, we have not been able to properly identify the right person.
Yeah, there's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of bad rumors.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny, to see, I mean, this thing has caught fire all week, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't seem to want to let up either. But I don't know. I don't know that I would have chased the ball to begin with. So.
Okay.
Well, like we were talking though, the day after it happened, it was his son's birthday, So I think
the lady didn't know that. She didn't know.
No. But I'm saying, as far as your dad, when he was saying that he wanted to chase it, but I'm sure if it was Lauren's birthday and there was nobody in the row that you had to go across because there was nobody in the stands, you would have at least tried for it with being her birthday.
And I think I also, said something to the effect of what's the guy's name that chases all these home run balls and and pushes all these kids and people out of the way to get these home run balls and
Zach Campbell.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't push her over. I mean, he just reached down, as well. Like if he was standing next to her.
Hey, kudos to the Florida Marlins for what they did. You know what I mean? They sent one of their marketing gurus up there with a package of goodies. Kudos to the Phillies. They, that night, Harrison Bader gave him a autographed, bat of his.
Johnny, you giving the ball back?
She's putting us both on the spot, John.
Guys, I don't understand the delay in these answers. No. The answer is no. I'm not giving the ball back. I'm not taking it out of my kid's glove because what you're teaching, I understand he wanted to teach him, this is how you de-escalate a situation. You're also teaching him that if you bitch, moan, and complain loud enough, you'll get your way.
But it's also easier for you to answer because it's a woman going against a woman, where the guy going against a woman. In our case, because in the same,
it would be completely different if she had walked that ball back to her seat and handed it to her kid. That would have been a completely different situation, but she didn't. That was for her as an adult. For what? To go home and where is that ball now? It's in a display case. What does that ball do for you? You're not going to go put it on eBay and make millions of dollars off of it.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, but from his perspective, like if he's fighting with the woman, it's just a tougher situation.
All he has to say is no. You're not getting. What is she going to do? Put her hands on the kid? That's a whole nother situation now.
Well, it is, but she wasn't taking no for an answer.
Oh, I think she would have. No.
Well,
that's
you
all
could have
baseball.
got security involed.
Absolutely.
You know,
there's ushers. There's people that you could have gotten involved.
Yeah, well, but the way she was acting, it was a little bit hard, I think, to get the security involved that quickly with her still going at it. You know,
as Sue says, she was a loose cannon. So,
well, that was the whole thing. Like
who in their right mind does all that?
Well,
right, exactly. I mean, who actually does that? Who thinks it's okay to say, no, that was my ball and I'm going to go after it now?
Well, that's that's the part, you know, that you don't know what, as a person, you know, on the other end, he's trying to protect his son. You know, who knows what she does? You know what I mean? Like, does she? You know, because she's could have had too much to drink. She could be loose cannon, and maybe she tries to grab the ball out of the kid's hand. The kid struggles, and then they fall over the seats. It's hard to say, and she would give, you know, just by saying no. So
you got a lot of no's on the board, Lauren. You just didn't get no's from us.
Well, neither of you said no.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You got a lot of no's on the board. You just didn't. Social media has her karma. Her karma.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would still try to keep the ball. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, a no is not the answer, but it's just a hard way. It's a hard situation just because you don't. We're talking here as three rational people talking to each other versus
Wait,
someone.
I don't want to be considered rational. No, I don't. And where was the guy's wife? How come she didn't get involved?
Well, she was videoing it.
Because he's like, I'm not with her. She's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so I mean that was, you know, the hard part, and you know, it was just kind of.
So, Lauren, let me ask you the question. You think she's embarrassed from all this?
I don't know how you ever show your face in public again. I mean, I hope she's in the process of getting a wig or her hair dyed or something, because she has a very noticeable features about her. Hopefully she's getting contacts or LASIK or something, because I don't know how. Maybe, hopefully for her sake, I hope she lives in Miami and wasn't traveling there from Philly and just lives. If she lives in Miami, she's got a better case of not being destroyed. But if she lives in Philadelphia, I don't think she can ever show her face at Citizens Bank, because somebody in today's world will recognize her.
Right.
And she will. I mean, I don't know how you go out again. Like I said, in Philadelphia, I don't know how you leave your house.
Yeah.
Good point.
At least for a while. At least, but I mean, they say, you know, the news cycle's every 24 to 48 hours, but it seems like this thing just has legs that won't stop.
Well, to go with that point there, I at first, when you first said it, I was thinking about the Ravens Bills game. And I know you didn't watch a lot of football, so that's why I was a little bit off guard when as the news cycle went along, because
a Bay from New Jersey. What does that mean?
Is that real, Jim Ray? Because there was a lot of speculation going on about who everyone thinks that she is. I hadn't really seen if there was a definitive, yes, that's her, just yet. But if she is actually a nurse from New Jersey, I don't know how she goes back to work.
Did you see her walking into some patient's room and they'll be like, whoa, wait, aren't you Karen, the girl?
And she's in the pediatric department too.
Yeah, that'd be, oh my God. Could you imagine?
You know, but yeah, that's what I first thought of was the Ravens game. And I'm like, wait a second.
Jim Wright. All right, Jim, we got to, that's what I saw. Not sure. Okay.
Yeah, I heard she was a teacher. She got fired, you know.
Yeah, the teacher thing definitely got debunked.
Okay. I didn't see that part of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, I look a little bit, but not a lot, because it always gets you never know what to believe.
All right.
But
We are, who is this? Mary, what? Mary, many Karen features hard to hide.
yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right. Rounding out the night, thank you to everybody. What do we got coming Saturday? We got Greg the Bull Luzinski coming to Carl's Cards.
Yep. You'll be sitting right here. We'll be here from 12 to 1. Signing
And then,
autographs. And
next Tuesday night, we got number 1 draft pick, Philadelphia Eagle, Jihad Campbell. Hopefully he's got another solid game in him Sunday versus the Chiefs. Looking forward to both those signings. Invite her to Buffalo Wild Wings. Everyone's always invited to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, we'll give her the mic. She can bring the baseball and we can have some fun. But I think we're going to have enough fun with Coach Dick Vermeil. So
yeah,
we're really looking forward to that as well. So we got a busy couple weeks coming up. But we're back here next Wednesday night to talk about our 2 signings that we'll have at the store. The Birds on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to that game with Kansas City to see how that plays out. Really looking forward to it. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Johnny, you got anything else that we may have missed?
Well, if you just follow what Zach Bond said when he was here on Tuesday afternoon, don't miss out on Jihad Campbell's autograph signing because he's going to be a stud. So, you don't want to miss out on that because he's going to be a special player, and it's going to be his first signing in the public. So let's give him a good welcome.
There you go.
So,
because Zach said so.
Exactly. I mean, he's gonna be something special to watch. And you just saw a couple glimpses there in the Cowboys game, and he brought the thunder literally after the fumble. So yeah, let's
Lauren, you got anything else, Dad?
I don't think so. I'm just off to the Fightins game.
All right.
Nice.
Yep.
Happy last week of the Fightins.
Thank you.
In baseball town. Have a good rest of your night. Have another beverage for me.
So you had an early game yesterday and a late game tonight.
Yes. Well, my work has a table set up there that I got to go pack up. So I set them up before the show and I got to go break them down.
Well,
there you go.
You're dedicated.
That's right.
You're dedicated.
Something like that. Dedicated or stupid. One of the two.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
That's right.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, all right. With all that, thanks everybody. Go Phils. They're winning 2-0.
We'll talk about that since you're saying thanks for joining us tonight. How was Wednesday night when you missed last week?
My Wednesday night was great.
Well, we wanted to know for your birthday. We were just
Tony took me out to dinner. Then we went somewhere for a drink afterwards. It was nice. It was good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep. Hard to go out on a school night though. You got to get up and go to work the next day.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
always,
we did it.
Always.
Yep. It was good.
All right.
Feel older now?
Very much so. My lower back is starting to hurt now that I've turned 35, I have to say.
No, wait till you get to be 53 and 55 and 70. Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. And check us out every morning, This Fan's View.
Yes.
We always got some cool stuff to read about. Or as Lauren says, do you have to post so many pictures?
Of course.
Oh, my. 32 this morning.
It happens.
Yeah. I had to give kudos to the Schwarbarian. So
That's right.
there's always good reason.
It doesn't happen that often that 50 home runs are hit by a Philly.
Nope.
Only twice ever.
Yep.
All
right. Guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, tomorrow's 9/11.
Exactly.
Let's remember those. that's the bigger picture here. So
That is true.
It's we all know somebody who knows somebody. So let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot all about that. I wanted to mention that as well. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right.
All righty.
Be well. Thanks, everybody.